This is part two of debunking Vijay Mallya's recent claims in his latest podcast. Claim number three, he says that he had offered the government to pay back the money, but the government rejected my fair offer. His fair offer did not even include the actual principal and the interest amount and was based on very ambiguous, unclear, and very convenient asset valuation of his own. Claim number four, he says that he has repaid 14,000 crore already to the government of India. If that is true, then why were his assets seized by ED? Why was his Kingfisher villa seized by the ED? The repayment was not voluntary. It was something that was taken as a course of compulsive action by the ED under the Fugitive Economic Fraud. The only thing that probably made sense to me in this entire podcast and was grounded in reality was the fact that how capitalism works in India with its political economic nexus and the lack of ease of doing business in India for the Indian capitalist. The capitalist is probably and mostly politically backed till the time the political bosses are satisfied. But having said that, does that give the capitalist the leverage to exploit the people of his own country, take money in the name of his company and then run away, obscure any sort of responsibility for it? Does not count a part of business, or is it just about the profit making forever? And most importantly, and the larger elephant in the room, why Vijay Mallya chose to do this podcast with Raj Shamani? Probably the answer lies in another question. Why Vijay Mallya chose Virat Kohli 18 years back for his team RCB at such a very young age? If you have watched the podcast, you will know the answer. If you haven't, then I'll keep you wondering.